2 days of minicamp. How do you feel like it went for particularly the offense out there?
Yeah, it went by really fast, but I thought we got a lot of good work out there. Had a lot of guys come out this offseason, and I thought that was huge for us to be able to work together and kind of grow together with this new offense. So I was really pleased with the effort that everyone gave this year.
Any area of the offense that you feel like took the biggest steps from maybe when Kellen first got here with installation to now as you guys break for before training camp?
I think just picking up the offense in general. I think whenever you get a new offense, it's important that everyone's working together and talking about the timing, exactly what you want. So I think any chance that we got to go out there on that field with everyone, I think the guys took it very seriously. They picked up exactly what they needed to, and we feel comfortable with the offense going forward.
Last time we talked to you was at the golf tournament before you'd gotten back into team drills. Just getting back through OTAs and minicamp, getting back into team drills. How'd you feel physically throwing the ball?
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't too much of a change between the non-team drills. I just started handing the ball off with the left arm, and I think that's the biggest difference from kind of getting back into things. But it felt good, felt comfortable, throwing the ball as well. So just continuing to get used to it, dealing with mechanics and everything that goes along with it. But shoulder feels good, and it's good to be back out there.
Justin, how would you describe Quentin Johnston's game?
He's a playmaker. He's going to make a lot of plays for us, and he showed up, and we knew early that we got a special guy out there, and he's done a great job picking up the offense so far. He's young, but he's going to be something special. So it's been fun to watch him so far.
Explosive was a word that came up a lot with this new offense. Do you feel like it is more explosive out there?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think that's always the goal for an offense of having those explosive plays, whether through the run game or the pass game. But Kellen, he's got a great mind, and he's done such a great job of kind of interpreting exactly what he wants for this offense. And so it's a clear message for us as an offensive unit of what he's trying to accomplish.
Get Mike back out there.
It's huge. He's such a special player, and any chance you got him out there, whether it's a go ball, whether it's an intermediate route, he's going to find a way to be open, and he's going to catch the ball. He's going to come down with it. So it's always a pleasure to have him out there.
Going back to the explosiveness, it feels like maybe you're being a little bit more aggressive in terms of pushing the ball downfield. Some of the back shoulder throws, balls over the top. Is that a fair characterization, or do you not feel that way?
I think it's a little early. I think it is OTAs, and we've done our best to be able to throw the ball downfield. And I think at this time last year we were doing a good job of throwing the ball downfield as well. But just continuing out throughout the year of picking up exactly what Kellen wants and putting that as best as we can out on the field, utilizing our weapons on the outside, because those guys are special players, and my job is just to get them the ball, and something will happen.
What has Kellen's message been to you as far as being aggressive in that phase of the offense?
Just to make plays. He's kind of talked about go do your job, exactly what you're doing, and go through your reads, and he's going to do his best to put us into a position to win, and that's my job as a quarterback as well, is to be the best teammate, be the best quarterback that I can be, and kind of like I said earlier, get those guys on the outside the ball, because Mike, Keenan, Q, they're special players, and so to be able to get them the ball, I think that's going to be huge for our offense.
Specifically with Kellen hit in the throwing deeper, has he talked about that? And I asked only when Joe was here, he admitted it took a little while for him to figure out what you were capable of and trying to exploit that. Has Kellen been pretty open about the idea of maybe throwing deeper, taking more shots?
Yeah, I think that might be a better question for him. I think that as long as I've been the quarterback, I feel like we've done a good job of throwing the ball downfield. I don't think we've made more of an emphasis on throwing the ball downfield this year. I think it's always kind of been an emphasis, and so especially with the receivers that we've had, I've always done my best to get those guys the ball downfield, and to have a guy like Mike and adding a guy like Q, you're going to want to find those guys downfield.
Justin, what about go ahead.
Kellen said most of the passing concepts from the old offense carried over to this one. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah, I think with football in general, a lot of the concepts are the same. I think the verbiage and what you call them kind of changes from year to year.
Getting Donald Parham really back out here and involved, especially today, it seemed.
Yeah, he's another weapon. He moves so well for his height, and he's been able to make plays over the past couple of years, and it's always a bonus for your team when he's out on the field. His catch radius is huge, and he's done a great job of being a leader for that tight end room, so it's been really good to see so far.
What's been different about having an offensive coordinator in Kellen who played the position at the highest level in the NFL and obviously like in college? How does that change maybe what goes on in the meeting room, how you guys discuss things, and what kind of impact?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think there's part of playing quarterback that you kind of have to go through it to understand, and I think Kellen's got a great feel of it because he's played at the college level, he's played at the NFL level, and he's unfortunately had a lot of success against the Oregon Ducks, and so I grew up watching him play, but when it comes to pressure, when it comes to the footwork, the pocket, he's got a great feel for that, and so he's kind of able to describe what he wants and being able to work with that. I think that's been huge.
What about like mechanically, in terms of like throwing? Obviously, he was a lefty, but like does that, like, do you guys are you able to maybe talk more in depth about the mechanics of throwing?
Yeah, and I think that's something that Coach Nussmeier has done a great job as well. Having those guys working together, working with all the quarterbacks. I feel really comfortable with our games at quarterback, and having those guys support us, teach us, because they've been through it a lot. They know exactly what they're doing, and they've had a lot of success. So to have those guys lead in the room, I think is, it's great for us.
These next 5 to 6 weeks, when do you feel like you're going to get antsy and want to get back on the field?
Probably tomorrow, yeah. So, we'll enjoy the little bit of time that we get off, and continue to get our bodies right. I know all these guys are going to take care of business when they go home. As soon as July 25th comes around, I know they'll be ready to go.
Justin, we're working out there with the offensive line. Obviously, you played with them before, but just a couple of them are in different spots.
Yeah, the great thing about those guys is no matter you're shifting the pieces around, they're able to pick it up, and no matter who's at what position, they're going to find a way to get it done. They're a great unit. Some of the best guys on the team. They work hard on and off the field. So, I'm really looking forward to playing behind those guys.
Justin, with the Austin out here from Minicamp, what does it mean to have him back? Just the impact he's made the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's huge. He's such a talented player. He's a big part of our offense, and you definitely feel, his presence when he comes back here. And so to have him around, he's picking up the offense just like anyone else. He's working hard. So it's been great to have him back, working with him, and looking forward to July when he's back as well.
Justin, at this point last year, there was a lot of buzz about this team and the potential, and even talking about a Super Bowl run potentially. A quieter offseason this year with fewer acquisitions. Do you feel like this team's under the radar? And if so, do you care at all what the external buzz is or isn't?
I would say that we're doing everything we can to control what's in our building and what we can control, and not letting too much of the outside noise affect us or affect our focus. So the great thing about here is we come to work here, we do our best, and that's all you can ask for. And the things that lie outside of your control, it's not really worth your time. And so I think the great thing that these guys have been able to do is go to work, do everything they can, head home, and I think that's all you can ask for a team.
And then one final, for me, contract question as you go into the break. When we last talked to you, you kind of mentioned that if you don't have a deal, it's something you have to address and think about. Is there any strategy? Would you be someone who would consider like a hold-in or anything to make sure a deal gets done, or is that just completely out of the picture for you?
It's something that I really haven't thought a whole lot about. I think the most of the offseason so far has been worried about, getting my shoulder right, making sure that I'm the best quarterback that I can be for this team. It's something that you can address. I'm not quite sure. I don't have any more updates for you at this time, but like I've said earlier, I think the world of the Chargers organization. I've got complete faith in the front office. So that's something that you'll address at the time, but I don't have any updates right now.
The new offense and putting that in, if you were to do a hold-in, how much could that delay that progress and everything?
Yeah, that'd put you quite into the deficit. I think that we've done a great job so far of picking up the offense and doing exactly what Kellen's asked for us. But when it comes time to camp, the role of the quarterback is to be out there for his team and to do everything he can to put that team in a position to win. And I understand that responsibility. So it's something that you'll address when the time comes, but I guess we'll see.